Don't forget to like and subscribe, and share your opinion down below. Am I the idiot for asking my stepdaughter to drive her mom to chemo? I feel bad for asking this right now. It's been 3 weeks since my wife has begun chemotherapy for her cancer, and it's been hell. For all of our family, but especially for me, because I have to wake up to see clumps of her hair on the pillow, in the shower, on our bathroom counter. Ever since she first got diagnosed and was told she had to do chemo, I have been very supportive. But after that first time, when she screamed at me in the car saying my car stinks and to pull over to buy her some water even though we'd be home in half an hour, I've been feeling like all she does is find things to criticize me about. My wife continues to be much nicer to her daughter than she is to me, even when she is in one of her moods. Now every time I think about driving her the 30 minutes to see her oncologist, I am filled with dread. I am filled with hatred and resentment for the situation, and also towards my wife for making me feel useless and thoroughly unappreciated. My mother is also getting older, and the time my wife is scheduled for chemo and the care that needs to be given to her before and after keeps me from seeing her. I sat down with my wife and stepdaughter, 16, at dinner yesterday and told them bluntly that neither of them was stupid and we could all feel the tension in the house, and that they obviously work better with each other. So, I asked my stepdaughter if she would be okay with driving her mother to chemo on Friday and the times after. I said I felt I'd be more useful if I wasn't around, and my mother and my son, who is in college, haven't seen me in a while. My wife started crying and my stepdaughter angrily said she'd drive her if this was such a big deal. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You just don't want to take care of your sick wife. Do you not remember your vows? In sickness and in health. You are the idiot. This whole post is ME. This whole situation is especially bad for you because you have to see hair clumps. What about the woman actually losing her hair? And no wonder she's crabby. She's probably pretty scared and chemo is likely making her feel crappy. You and her need to find respective support groups or therapists, instead of you trying to escape dealing with the situation. You are the idiot. Chemo makes people very sick to their stomach, and the least little scent will cause her to vomit. Also, chemo is notorious for dry mouth. Your wife is sick, either be a man and help her or divorce her. She doesn't you in her life. Am I the idiot for telling my husband and his family to suck it up when they complained about my daughter's wedding? I won't complicate this. I have a daughter, Kara, who is not my biological daughter, nor was she my legal daughter until she reached the age of 18 when she asked me to adopt her as an adult. I married my husband when she was 14 and together, we have 2 children. Kara gets along okay with my husband. But admittedly her upbringing means she was maybe not as able to bond with a father figure as she was with a mother figure, and her age was also a factor. Regardless, everyone gets along, and I think that is the best you expect when you have someone who went through as much as she did at a young age. Kara is engaged and came to me recently and told me she would like to walk with me down the aisle and do a dance with me while her fiancé dances with his mom. She told me she didn't know how to ask for that without hurting my husband. I told her he would understand, and I would be honored to do it. I did not expect my husband and his parents to take offense. They believe she snubbed my husband and is making it seem like he's nothing. After listening to them complain about this for 10 minutes, I told them to suck it up and accept that she asked me, her mom, to do both of those parts of the wedding and that I was proud to do it. I dared them to tell me I was less deserving than my husband. My husband and his parents believe I wasn't very understanding and downright rude. According to my mother-in-law. Am I the idiot? So, to clarify for people because I was not clear. My husband is not her father, he is her stepfather through me. I was married before and she was my stepdaughter who I ended up with custody of but never legally adopted as a minor because her biological mother was alive. She has trauma relating to father figures, 2 prior ones to be exact, so she has never really considered my husband as such, but their relationship has been good considering everything she has been through. I did adopt her when she turned 18. Not my husband, just me. Not the idiot. You're doing everything right and I think it's lovely that she wanted you to walk her down the aisle. It's a testament to your relationship with her. It seems clear to me why she wouldn't want him. He doesn't behave as a parent, so why would he stand in as her father? Not the idiot. This isn't the 1700s. You can have whoever you want, if anyone at all, walking you down the aisle. He's not her father, so why TF did they all expect him to walk her down? Her day, her choice, case closed. Not the idiot. It's her wedding, her day, and her life. She can ask who she wants, just like any other bride. Your advice for your husband and his family is good advice to anyone who wants to dictate how somebody should get married. Am I the idiot for telling my mum that I am not childcare for my younger brother? My 19F mum, 51F, is a single mum and an essential worker. She works in a special needs school and at the moment they really need her to be in at least 3 days a week. This means my brother, 12M, is allowed to attend school those 3 days a week. However, recently my brother has demanded that he gets to stay home like everyone else because his friends aren't at school and it's no fun and he'd rather homeschool. So, she's let him. I'm vulnerable, so I am stuck home and unable to find work, etc. So she figured it's fine because I am home to watch him. This pissed me off because I predicted he'd do whatever he pleased and behave horribly when she wasn't home. And alas, I was correct. Even when she is home his behavior is disgusting. He yells and calls her every name under the sun and is loud. My mum received an angry phone call today saying that my brother has not been attending his online classes and has not been doing any work at all. My mum always defends him down the phone while he says he has. Well, maybe you should put more in place to help him. He's not like other kids. She tried to talk to him and said maybe he'll need to go back to school and he said, "You can't make me, I'll just run off and skip school," and then called her a BTCH. I said please send him back to school. I am not childcare for him and he doesn't do any schoolwork or listen to me and he's so loud I can't cope. She said that I am out of order and enough for not helping out because I do nothing for her and I should be nicer to my brother because I'm a horrible sister. Am I the idiot here? Not the idiot. She can't get him under control and somehow wants you to get him under control? She should send him back to school. He didn't run away earlier and if he skips it wouldn't make a difference because he skips it home as well. Seems like your mom is a bit overwhelmed by all this. Not the idiot, he has a place to go during the day. She's just choosing not to send him, so the need for childcare is a problem of her own design. You are not the parent, and your mom needs to be firm about him going to school. Not the idiot. Of course, your brother would rather homeschool when he knows that he can get away with not doing his work because your mom will blame you. Your mother is the parent. He is allowed to attend school in person while she is working for a reason. She is indulging the whims of her spoiled brat at your expense because it's easier than disciplining him. Am I the idiot for embarrassing my mother-in-law over her emotional issues and making her cry? My mother-in-law has issues with other people's events. Weddings seem to be her big trigger, but she has been known to go a little batch insane over birthdays and graduations as well. Now I've occasionally heard of some jealousy coming out when the mom didn't get a wedding of her own, but mother-in-law had a big beautiful wedding. She just can't stand not to be the center of attention. It was bad when sister-in-law got married. She wore the most over-the-top sparkly dress, cried about how none of us love her, and hung all over father-in-law all night. She had a full-on breakdown during the family photos and demanded to know why husband never remembers her birthday. Now I'm not entirely sure how much her kids love her, but her husband certainly does, so she was being ridiculous. She then got very drunk with her brother, and cried until father-in-law took her home. I got married 2 years ago and I was worried, but mother-in-law was surprisingly calm. She was kind of reserved and sulky, but overall she was okay. Father-in-law kept telling her she was doing great and he was so proud, which I found weird because she wasn't actually doing anything. Father-in-law literally took her chin between his fingers during pictures and was like, "You are doing amazing. I'm so proud of you." Weird, but whatever. We had a birthday party for daughter the other day. Mother-in-law came without father-in-law because he had to golf. He actually did have to. It was business. Mother-in-law was fine. And sister-in-law made a joke about mother-in-law is doing so good without father-in-law there to bribe her. Husband asked what she meant and sister-in-law laughed and said that when we got married, the only reason mother-in-law acted normal was because father-in-law promised her a weekend trip wherever she wanted, doing whatever she wanted, if she didn't throw a fit. I was just floored. This woman is 50 years old, and I said that was absolutely pathetic. Mother-in-law immediately got defensive and said I should shut up, and I have no right to judge her. Husband told her not to talk to me like that, and mother-in-law screamed at us that we are all horrible and we bully her. I said sorry if it was harsh, but she is pathetic, and she left crying. Father-in-law called husband later and cussed him out. He said that I am an evil witch, what he does with his wife is his business, and that I am making fun of her for having emotional issues. He said we are banned from his house until I apologize to his wife, and I know that hurt husband because he is so close to his dad. Not the idiot. Your mother-in-law is an adult and she is acting like a toddler throwing a tantrum in a time she doesn't get her way or have all of the attention on her. The fact that she had to be bribed by father-in-law and then coddled the whole time, you're doing so well, in order for her to act like a decent grown-up is beyond ridiculous, especially because sulking and pouting the whole time is not doing so well in my opinion. Your sister-in-law shouldn't have said anything in front of mother-in-law since it clearly was going to start drama that wasn't needed, but I don't think your response was out of line. I, too, would have laughed out loud and said how ludicrous the whole situation is. It sounds like everyone is used to just going along with mother-in-law and her antics to keep the peace, which I don't necessarily agree with. I know mother-in-law father-in-law keep stating emotional issues, but it sounds to me like her issues are to cry, throw a fit and guilt trip to get her way. So not the idiot. Everyone is the idiot, but you suck less. Your mother-in-law and father-in-law are obviously the idiots. That's something else. You had the opportunity to be the bigger person here, and instead you went with pathetic. Even if you think so, you escalated rather than de-escalated the situation. And you gave your mother-in-law another chance to play the victim. You are the idiot. She clearly has serious emotional issues. Father-in-law has found a way to help her get through events, which is obviously avoiding actually helping her resolve her issues, but is at least effective in the short-term goal. What this woman needs is actual therapy, not ridicule.